Welcome. Drink less, Feel Fresh family, to this week's episode of the Monday Morning Fresh AF class. Tommy Cartwright here, founder of Drink Less, Feel Fresh, and host of the 30-day Drink Less, Feel Fresh Detox Challenge. Looking forward to diving into today's topic. One of the common themes that's been arising in our Drink Less, Feel Fresh 30-day Detox Challenge Facebook group is the awareness and the understanding that you've got to be loving the journey more so than you're excited about the outcome. And so we're going to hit the ground running today and dive straight into it. One of the biggest problems in the traditional alcohol reduction industry is they focus so heavily on the outcome of either abstinence, sobriety, or just achieving what it is that you want. And what that means is people become attached or addicted to needing to achieve that outcome of sobriety. And one of two things generally happens. Well, either A, you don't experience that outcome because it's just not the way life works. I'll tell you what I mean by that in a moment. Or number B, you experience the outcome of sobriety, but you feel like you have to sacrifice everything else. So you feel like you have to almost diminish or lower the quality of your life just to get the outcome, as opposed to using the outcome as a driving force and reason for you to increase the quality of your life. So today's title and topic we're diving into is The Journey is the Outcome. The journey is the outcome. So if you're on a alcohol reduction journey, if you're looking to drink less and feel fresh, whether you're looking at sobriety or you're just looking to reduce your intake over time, then this is going to be right up your alley. When we say the journey is the outcome, what we mean is if you don't love the approach, if you're not loving the fact that you're on the journey of changing your relationship with alcohol, as I said earlier, it's just not going to be a very enjoyable journey for you. And I said that word earlier, sacrifice. We all understand and appreciate that we need to sacrifice, but if you're not enjoying the approach, if you're not riding out the journey, if you're not grateful that you're even on the journey, it's just going to be, if I can speak frankly, it's just going to be a shit time. It's going to be a really crappy time. And it's actually one of the founding reasons why we built Drink Less, Feel Fresh, is I didn't believe that there was enough opportunities out there for people to enjoy the journey of alcohol reduction. So many approaches out there are, people don't want to be doing them. They don't want to be in them. A lot of people don't want to be going to meetings. They don't want to be checking themselves into rehabilitation clinics. It's something that apparently they have to do. And I think there's a real big issue with that. When it comes to changing a relationship with alcohol, if the journey's not fun, what's the point? If the journey's not enjoyable, what's the point? I'm not saying that we can't feel shame and guilt and take the journey seriously and that it's a serious topic. I'm not saying just clown our way around all of the pain or suffering we may have been causing ourselves with alcohol. I'm just saying that, excuse me, we created Drink Less, Feel Fresh, so there was more of a sexy, appropriate, fun, and engaging approach to drinking less and feeling fresh. And that is because we really believe in the journey matters more than the outcome. And the journey is, the famous quote, that the journey is the destination. The destination is the journey. It's something that we really sorely lack, especially in this country, in Australia. We've come so far away from appreciating that we are here and our day-to-day experience matters more than what we're working on to achieve. If you're watching this live, jump into the chat panel. If you're listening to this recording on YouTube or Spotify, how does that go down for you? When you think about changing your relationship with alcohol, are you happy and grateful that you're on the journey? Or do you beat yourself up and give yourself a hard time and it's something that you've got to do to experience the outcome that you want? I'll share something with you in a different way. I've been, even before the Drink Less, Feel Fresh brand, I've been in the industry for, I'm actually coming up to my 10 years. 10 years this coming February for me, 10 years in the industry. Can't believe it, actually. And over the 10 years in the personal development industry, if someone was to say, what's your main underlying expertise, it would be performance coaching, helping people perform in everyday environments to the best of their ability. Now, yes, we focus solely in our Drink Less, Feel Fresh endeavor and looking after all of you. But at the end of the day, it's peak performance and learning to perform under stress and pressure in environments where you naturally need to lean or fall into self-sabotaging behaviors, but you don't want to. So that to me is peak performance. For many of our listeners, you've got busy family lives, you've got busy professional lives. A lot of our members are building businesses or working at the top of the corporate ladder. So if you've got a lot on your plate and you're juggling a lot, and you also want to drink less alcohol, that is a peak performer right there to me. It's not the average person that's willing just to settle for second best. You like to experience. Some people are going to feel judged by this, but you like to experience more than common folk. That's how I've always been. I've always thought, no, I want more from my life. I want as much as I can get out of my life. And somewhere along the way, you often realize that the way I'm going to get more out of it is by kicking alcohol to the curb or looking after this experience of alcohol. Now, why am I sharing that with you? Well, over the course of the last 10 years, one thing we found is that, and you can take this to the bank, one thing we have found is that individuals feel more wholesome when they are working on themselves to achieve something than they actually feel once they've achieved it. I'll say it again. Individuals feel more wholesome and at peace and content with their life when they're working on themselves as opposed to when they've achieved it. And it really backs up the title of today's class, which is the journey is the outcome. And when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol, it's no different. The journey is the outcome. You've got to fall in love with the journey. You've got to appreciate and learn to, and it is a learning style. It's learning to fall in love with that you're on the journey. Some people will take 24 hours. They'll read a book, they'll watch one of my classes, and they'll just never pick up a drink again. That's great. That's their journey for them. Some people will be on the journey like myself for years, 10 years. And it's not, that's why, and that's a perfect example. Actually, I didn't know I was going to say that, but that's a perfect example of why the journey must matter. It's 24 hours of your life. It's 10 weeks of your life. It's 3 to 6 months of your life. For some people like myself, it's 9.5 to 10 years of your life. If you're not enjoying the journey, what's the point? Get off the journey. I had a new Drink Less Feel Fresh member call me last week. They wanted to come on board one of our programs. And I was sharing this with them. I said, don't come into any of our programs if you're not going to enjoy the journey, because we only work with people that are willing to learn how to enjoy the journey, that want to be here. And this individual said, oh, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, for example, I don't want you to be an unhappy non-drinker. If that's going to be the case, I'd rather you just drink and enjoy life and be happy. And this person just started laughing, like really just in hysterics, was laughing at how lighthearted the approach was. And it was just a way to communicate that the journey is the outcome. You've got to enjoy the journey. It's no different to if you were building a business. If you don't enjoy the journey of building business, but you just want the outcome of, let's say, time or money or freedom or whatever it is, number one, you're either not going to make it in business, or number two, you're going to make it at the expense of everything else. If you get into a relationship with the purpose of wanting to have a partner, as opposed to enjoying life with someone by your side, those two experiences are going to be completely different. See, most areas of life, when it comes to change and growth, we fall in love with the journey. And I want to link it back to what I said a couple of minutes ago, because I think you're probably going to resonate with it. Specialize in peak performance, emotional management, mindset mastery, tapping into your ultimate potential. People feel more at home. They feel more peaceful and content with their life when they're on the journey of working with themselves. And once they've achieved their results, that's often where things fall away. That's how life works. It's on the journey is where you find the fruits. And it's just, the reason why I've created a class out of this for this week's episode is because it's so often unspoken about. People are so fixated on the result. I get that's important. I get that you're here to change your relationship with alcohol. But I'll tell you right now, that'll happen the more so you fall in love with the journey. If you're only here and you're fixated on never drinking again, or reducing your alcohol intake to the level that you love and respect, and that's all that matters, you're missing so much of the path. You're missing so much out on life. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about it. I don't think, I just really don't believe that you should have to suffer when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol. Excuse me. Is it going to be a little bit painful? Yes. Are you going to experience some downs? Yes. Am I saying just laugh with everything and don't take it seriously? No. I'm just saying that you've got to enjoy the journey. And one of the downfalls when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol, and it's a very big problem in the Australian drinking culture and the Australian alcohol reduction industry, is that most approaches are reserved for people and they're not attractive. Nobody wants to do them, and not many people are doing the approaches. It's because apparently they have to. And the majority of people that I speak to in those approaches are struggling. And when I say struggling, they're either struggling with their alcohol intake or they're not drinking, but they're still struggling emotionally and mentally. And that's just not on. There's just no need for that. So if you're listening to this episode live, if you're listening to it on Spotify, if you're listening to this on YouTube, hello, please head to drinklessfeelfresh.com if you're up for it and register for these weekly classes. Because if you resonate with this message that the journey is the outcome, chances are this is for you. And we'd love to see you on these classes. Would love to welcome you into any of our 30-day detox challenges. Just say yes and then work out how. And remember, I'll leave you with this one. If you are serious about changing your relationship with alcohol, please find someone or something that you resonate with. Find something that you go, oh, this suits me. This feels like it's my avenue. Far too many people, like myself 10 years ago, when a GP, a doctor told me, Tom, you should go to an AA meeting and you've probably got depression. I felt so humiliated and debilitated. I felt like I was being forced into a cage. It's just my experience. I'm not bagging those approaches. They're fantastic. I love those approaches for certain people. But for me, it didn't feel right. So please search for the person, the place, or the brand that you feel is so, excuse me, I'll just clear my throat. As you'll notice, these classes are not unscripted; they're unedited. So you see us all in the flesh. Please find a company, a brand, or even Drink Less, Feel Fresh. Someone that feels right up your alley. Something that feels lighthearted. Something that feels, yeah, this feels good to me. Wow, this feels so much better. I was panicking and freaking out. About the journey. I'll give an example. I run a Saturday live Q&A for our members where all of our members jump in and ask me live questions, and we have a group Zoom session and I answer, and we do some live coaching and mentoring, et cetera, et cetera. And one of our new 30-day detox members, it was her first class, and the class was about 30 to 40 minutes. And at the end of the class, I just jumped in there and said, hey, just want to check in. How's it going for you? And that's an honest check-in for me. It's not, I hope it's going well. It's, is it going well? Are you in the right program? Are you enjoying yourself? Because if not, maybe we should think about a different program or a different community, because I think it's really important that people love what we're doing. And this person got emotional straight away and said, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. And she literally said something along the lines of, who would have thought you could be excited about this? Said, I don't know what it is that you're doing. I don't know not really sure what's going on. There was just a 40-minute class where we're all talking. And that's a perfect testament to the person has now finally found the place and the space for them. And because of that energy that she's bringing, I have no concerns and no worries, because she's going to crush it and she's going to experience the journey that she needs to experience. And she's going to get the results that she wants because she's where she wants to be, as opposed to forcing herself into it. I'm going to zip my lips because I could speak all day on this topic, but at the end of the day, the journey is the outcome, and those that find peace and contentment are those that accept they're on the journey to experiencing great things, not those that have experienced great things. And that's a big understanding to have. So when it comes to drinking less and feeling fresh, when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol, please find a support service that you love and that you like and that you want to be there, because this is your time, this is your life. You get to choose the life that you want. Make sure that every day you're working or learning from someone that you resonate with. Big love, Drink Less, Feel Fresh family. See you same time, same place next week. You can show up live to these classes. Please head to drinklessfeelfresh.com. You can jump into the chat panel, ask me any questions, and if I've got some time, I'll answer them on the spot. Otherwise, you can watch all of these recordings on YouTube at Drink Less, Feel Fresh, or on Spotify at Drink Less, Feel Fresh. Thanks, everyone. Tommy Cartwright here. Have an incredible week. Bye for now.